What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your, oh my God, your Real Housewives of New Jersey review. I was going to come down to the park, but honey, this park is packed the up. Oh, I know what I could do. I know what I could do for the diva. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. I just wanted to come out. I was about to go out on my balcony, but I didn't feel like setting it up and doing all that other stuff and doing all that other shit. So I was just like, let me just come down here. So go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. The kids are coming out. I guess it's not a pandemic anymore because these motherfuckers. Come on, honey. You can come this way. All right. People want to get an attitude about parking and stuff. I don't want to sit amongst it. I mean, I could sit right here under this tree with this photographer coming out. The people are parked. I don't know how people are going to back out because there's people parked like out here. But I know where I'm about to park. People they act so confused. And you coming through with your Honda minivan, Miss Karen, thinking she gonna get through. Oh, child. Yeah, that's why I don't want to be in this parking lot. It's too many people. I know y'all see it, right? It's cracky. So have you guys had a good weekend so far? Today is Sunday. I've had an okay weekend. I'm just gonna say it was okay. Yesterday morning was a little hectic for the diva, but she got through it. And then I did like running some errands with my son. Had to go get him some new glasses because he plays basketball, so his glasses broke, and so we had to go get him some new glasses yesterday. And we just did a little errand, little grocery shopping or whatever. Nothing special. I saw a lot of people talking about, RHOA and stuff like that. I actually found out, do I want to park under a tree? Let's do that. Let's back up a little bit, diva. Oh, yes. Is that better? Can y'all see? We want to make sure you can see the diva. The diva. The diva. I don't know. I might have to pull up. I don't like this. I guess it's okay. It's fine, child. I'm gonna pull up here. No, I'm fine right here. I don't know. Come on, Libra rising and make a fucking decision, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna be right here. Maybe this will do it. I don't know. This camera direction is a little weird. I guess I don't know. We'll see. I don't like it. I feel like I can't see y'all good. See, like I feel like that is better. And that's why we need the light. We need no light coming right here. You see that? That's what we need. So I feel like this is not a good spot. So maybe I just need to change the camera. Because I'm not about to sit right here with this thing like this. This is a studio, honey. I don't have anything. I should have stayed my black ass at home. Oh. Look at that. Alright. Probably should put the car in park, Erica. Girl, it's a mess. It's a mess, girl. All right. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So let me tell you all what I found out. Let me put a little air in the diva's I'm gonna suffocate in this motherfucker. I don't want you to hear the noise from the cars, but anyways, I found out that I wanted to see because this is about New Jersey, but it's about Housewives, and it's about New Jersey too. I wanted to see who production was, right? Because, we've all been talking about it, and I think a lot of people are really disappointed in the production of RHOA, and why has it gone down? A lot of people keep saying they want Carlos back. Carlos, I saw on Twitter, he was like, I need to know that my company is included, so maybe they wanted him to produce for them and not include his own production company. I don't know, but you know how shady people are at television, film, and music, so you never know. So I said I wanted to look up who were the CEOs and presidents of the production company for Real Housewives of Atlanta and the production company for Real Housewives of New Jersey. Because for me, RHOA and RHOP, Potomac, I mean, Potomac is okay in their production, but I feel like there's so much missing in just, I think they're focusing, I think the focus, what they decide to focus on is so wrong. I don't know. I love the way that Real Housewives of New Jersey is produced. I absolutely love it. It's just like you get a full scope. You get these women with their families, and then you get these women in their friend group. So you get to see what's happening to them outside of their friend group. And these other things, you don't really get to see that much. Like, we don't know what's going on in Candy's life. We don't know what's going on in Kenya's life besides this divorce with Mark. I mean, and she says she's opening some, I don't know where other retailer she's going to, but we didn't see that. You understand what I'm saying? We're not seeing nothing about their lives. We saw a little bit of Portia with Dennis. I mean, but no, we're not. I just feel like, I don't know. So I looked it up, and the presidents of Truly Original are this, I don't know, white man and woman. And then I look over to Sirens Media, which is the production company for Real Housewives of New Jersey, and the president of the company is a black woman. Yeah. Moishi Williams, or it's something. I forgot. I posted it on Twitter. If y'all follow me on Twitter, you saw that I posted it, and I posted a picture of them so you could see. And these are the presidents of the company. I don't want to put out any conspiracy theories out there, but I feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta is being sabotaged. I feel like it, because the talent on the show is not bad. Like, you know, we say Cynthia's boring. We say, you know, we say the people, whatever, who's boring, who needs to go, and this and that. But I don't think that there's anything wrong. The only thing I think is wrong with Real Housewives of Atlanta is that, and I think it's what's wrong with black folks in media, period, is that we're more concerned with perception than actual reality. You understand what I'm saying? We want to be perceived as wealthy. We want to be perceived as if we're in these great, perfect relationships. It's a lot of swept under the rug, don't tell people what's going on in your house mentality. And I think that's cultural. So we don't get to see authentic representations of these women. Like, Phaedra was lying. Sheree was lying. I think Nene was being, I want to see authentic expressions of womanhood, right? And then also, I also want to see the wealth. I want to see real wealth. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. I think that's enough that I talked about that, because that was just an observation for me. So now let's get into the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I thought it was a great episode. It was really good. It was a lot of stuff going on. And then let's just get into it, okay? Jennifer is talking with her daughter about the turkey trip and saying that her mom didn't go. Remember that her mom didn't go because she didn't want to be traveling with the husband, and because she doesn't like the husband. She's over it. We know what the problem is. We get into that in the last scene. Jennifer says that her mother is stealing all of the joy out of her life because she's mad at her dad. And we could see that Jennifer is really kind of, she's not, I have come to the conclusion that traditional means male-centered. Traditional means serving a man. Traditional doesn't have any doesn't do anything to serve a woman in a traditional kind of relationship setup. So Jennifer and Teresa are very traditional. And so I feel like Jennifer is seeing her father's side more than she's seeing her mother's side. And I think that hurts her mom. And I mean, it does hurt her mom. Her mom did say it. And then even the medium said it. And this was a good, that medium session was really good too. So I thought it was so cute that when Jennifer's daughter walks away, Jennifer goes, she's been snappy lately. And the mother was like, what are you talking about? My granddaughter is an angel. What are you talking about? She was like, no, I'm just saying. I thought it was so funny because she got real mad. Like, don't be talking about my granddaughter, honey. Don't be saying that she's snappy. But Jennifer shares with us that her mother was so strict and that she lied to say that she needed to take an SAT course, never went to the course, but actually passed her SATs, or got a good score, passing, but got a good score in her SATs, even though she didn't go to this class, but she did it because her mother was so strict. So she tells her mom that Marge is being judgmental with her, and she's saying how Bill is not only, wealthy, he's also respectful, he's handsome, he's smart, and she's naming off all of these things. And Jennifer's mother says, you really have a good, you're really lucky that you have a really great husband. And she was like giving her a kiss, and she was like, no, you just like my husband. She was like, no, he's a really good man and he deserves it, is what she said. He's the best man and you're lucky. And she's like, and your dad wasn't shit. And she was like, well, Mom, I have never seen, or I don't have any bad memories of my dad. And she was like, girl, because he wasn't there. Like, he wasn't there. She was not happy. She was like, he would come home demanding, I need this, I need this. And then they share with us that she was 16 years old, marrying a man who is 26 years old. She was 16 and he was 26, which to me, I don't understand why Jennifer, that is not clicking for her, like that part. But then you have to understand that within the culture, so many traditions, as harmful as they are, people think that, well, that's what we did in our tradition. So, I mean, and nobody wants to break tradition, which usually are like toxic cycles of latent and subtle abuse. And it's like, you don't understand that that's not cool. Like 16 and 26, I don't think that's cool anywhere. And child marriage in these different cultures, it just does irreparable damage to girls growing into women. And we could see a representation of that in Jennifer's mother. And it's so sad. I mean, so sad. And she's probably a little tyrant. She probably is a little tornado, but she probably has a lot of resentment. And she probably comes from a culture who they don't talk about their problems. So this mother has been holding on to 48 years of resentment and anger and a lost childhood. And I don't see, as a woman, how you cannot see that and think that, oh, okay, I get why she's fucking mad all the time. Hello? She says, I gave him 48 years, okay? And when she left America, they left for America. She got pregnant and left her family. He took them to America, and that was it. She says, I'm just so tired, I don't care anymore. I was like, it's so sad. And I don't know how you cannot look at your mother and identify with her, but you're traditional. And for me, I've come to the realization that traditional is male identified, male, man serving. And it's sad that she can't look at her mother and think like something is wrong with this, or even just be like, I get it. I get why you're like that. Because I would ask Jennifer, would you want to marry your daughter off at 16 years old to a 26-year-old man? Would you want to do that? It's tradition. So we have a lunch date with Marge and Jackie and Melissa. I love it. The ambiance, the environmentals. I love the way it looked. I love the way Margaret was sitting there with them fucking fly ass glasses. I don't know what they were, but she looked fly as hell sitting at that table. They're talking about homeschool and how they're going. They showed little scenes of them doing homeschool and stuff like that. And how's it going? She was like, I can't even imagine that because my kids are grown, so I understand. But she was talking about her little book or whatever. And she was like, in her book, she had a chance to reflect in her book. And in the reflection with her mom, that she said that she never felt safe with her mother, and she never felt that her mother was right. And it's so weird because I kind of related to that. Like, I felt like I was always, which came off as rebellious, but I felt like I was always questioning my mom. Like, why are you doing that? Like, what? Like that, and then like thinking like, this shit don't make no goddamn sense. Like stuff like that. So I kind of related in that way. But Marge said that her mother taught her that you lead with your sexuality, you lead with, that's it. You lead with your sexuality, and that's how you get things that you want. She says she despised it, but that's all she knew, so she practiced. That's how she got the things that she wanted. It's crazy. I want to read her book. They start talking about Joe. She was like, I didn't realize that even Joe was upset down at the at the shore house. And she was like, yeah. And even Jackie was like, it just seemed like it was deep rooted. Jackie or Margaret said that. It just seemed like it was deep rooted. And she was like, and you've grown. And then Margaret said, and you don't need him. And she was like, no, I need my husband. And she was like, no, not like that. He wants you to depend on him. Like, he wants you to need him. And you don't need him. And she was like, no, I do need him. And then Jackie says, you never promised to be sitting at home forever. Like, I don't understand why. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. And she was like, well, we're going to go to Teresa's house. We're all invited. She's going to bring this psychic over. They thought it was a psychic at first, but she's a medium or whatever. And Jackie was like, and I was invited. And she was like, does she go to this medium regularly? And she's like, yeah, because, after the relationship, she's needs some advice and kind of needs some guidance. So she's gone to her a couple of times. And she was like, I need to know. I thought it was funny the way Margaret like tapped Melissa when she was like, Teresa's getting ass. She's getting it from somewhere. And she was like, oh, she's always talking about pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. And so Jackie was like, what the hell? Because, Jackie, her sex life seems like a little vanilla just based on her. There's no oral sex. It's just like, I don't know what else we don't know, but I don't understand how. I don't get. But she was like, what is that? And she was like, well, you don't have to worry about it because it makes and then I love the way Margaret was like, it makes your puss juices taste good. I said, come on, bitch. I love Margaret. I know she gets on some of y'all nerves, but I love Margaret. I don't know. I just love it. She said, yeah, because when we asked her, was she gonna come with us? It was somewhere they were going, and she was like, no, I gotta do a soccer game. And Margaret's like, bitch, you be posting pictures of your oatmeal. You ain't posting no soccer pictures. You went somewhere else. I said, come on, bitch. I love it. She was like, it just makes your puss juice taste sweet. So Melissa goes, yeah, that's what I heard. It's supposed to be a fact, this and that. So that was really cute. Then we're back with Dolores and Frank. Dolores and Frank are talking about their house flipping, and they still do house flipping and stuff like that. And she's talking about how she's going to have a mammogram. She had an abnormal mammogram come back, so she's going for a biopsy. And she hasn't told anybody, but she's told Frank and David, of course. And he's not worried, she says. And he was like, have you told your mother? No. Have you told your children? No. She's like, I'm not telling anybody because I don't want anybody to get, scared or nervous. She says, how we can get or whatever. So then we're at the psychic party or the medium party. She comes in, immediately starts getting seen with Gia. She was like, your grandmother, because Gia was doing this with her hands. She was going like this, and she was like, your grandmother wanted me to let you know that her hands don't hurt anymore. And she was like, really? She was like, oh my God, my grandmother had arthritis. That medium was good. A lot of people were skeptical. I was reading online because they were like, she could have found this information anywhere. However, Jackie says she's never posted about her grandmother. And then Evan was like, well, 90% of grandmothers are named Esther. She was like, that's true, but still. And then her grandmother was fly as hell. I'm sorry. She was sitting in that picture. I was like, yes, lady. She said she was a free spirit and fashionable. I was here for that. They got to Melissa came in. Melissa seemed like she was drunk already. I don't know, because her eyes were like red and she was like kind of like giddy. She was a little off. I was like, is she high? But I don't think she smokes. Maybe she was drunk. I don't know. Jackie shows up. Marge shows up. Marge says she's going to invite them to a yacht party to talk about her book and, just do whatever. Is this okay? Okay. And so the realtor shows up and Jennifer shows up, and then Marge brings up Jennifer saying that she wanted a housekeeper, and she was like, girl, that's like kind of first world problems. It's bothering Margaret. I'm not sure why it's bothering Margaret, but Margaret is more so like, girl, you're on the internet talking about how you need a housekeeper, and there's people waiting for second stimulus checks. I don't understand how you can be so tone deaf. And there's a lot of people that make comments about people traveling and this and that. But the truth of the matter is, it's people's life. If she's online talking about she needs a housekeeper, I don't know, or a nanny or whatever she wants to call it, I don't know that that's tone deaf. I mean, I don't know. I stuff like that. I'm just like, why does her getting a housekeeper bother you so much? I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think anybody cares that Jennifer needs a housekeeper and there are people in the world waiting for a second stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, I don't know. I didn't see the problem with it. I thought Margaret was just like nitpicking at Jennifer at this point. The medium gets on Marge and asks her about her father figure, Bernie, who was Jan's father. She said he was her favorite person. They showed this old picture of Margaret, looked like at their wedding. She said she would not have divorced Jan if that man was still alive. So I don't know how that medium would have known that. I've been saying myself, we don't know enough about Margaret so that lady to be, I don't know where she would have gotten that from. There's people who are skeptical, and that's fine. And then there's people who believe, and that's fine. And that's with everything. So whatever. They get to Michelle, the realtor. She talks about she hits on the spot for her father, brings up the number 26 and that was the day that her daughter was born, and he says he kissed the daughter when she was sent down through the heavens. So she was like, oh my God. You could tell that Margaret was legitimately like shocked. She was like, girl, what? She was like, because she was like Bernie with a B, like she was like something with a B, Bernie. She was like, yeah, like right off the bat, she came through with it. So then they get to Dolores, right? So Dolores says the medium says her grandparents are with her. Grandparents are happy that they can be there and that you can hear us. And she said her grandmother was telling her that you're in this like broken relationship with somebody. You're used to somebody chasing you, and this person is not chasing you. And is he your soulmate? And so they asked the medium, is he your soulmate? And she was like, do you want to know? And she was like, yeah. She was like, no, he's not. I mean, I don't know what Dolores is going to do about David. I don't know, but the woman told her, as soon as you let him go, you're going to get the lover that is going to fulfill what you need. And Teresa was like, oh, I love that. Teresa was like teary-eyed the whole time. So then she gets to the dog. She says the dog jumped on the grandparents' lap. And then when I tell you Dolores started breaking down, we have honestly never seen Dolores cry. Never. She was breaking down. And then Melissa and Margaret were like, girl, this lady just told you that you were in a dead-end relationship. And then she tells you that your dog's spirit is there, and you break down crying over that. You didn't break down crying over David. You broke down crying over Boo the dog. Melissa was like, girl, you can't make this shit up. And it's true. Dogs just, I don't think it's unconditional love, but I think that dogs are just more loyal. And that's just like, they're dependent on you for their survival. So they're going to be loyal. You feed them. You know what I mean? Melissa, your dad is here. The wrestler, 13. And then she's talking about this broken foundation. And they were like, is it literal or is it figurative? And she's like, well, it's crazy, huh? Okay, hopefully you guys can see me. I don't know. It's a trip. And so she talks about Joe, but evidently she's on the right path with Joe. Jackie, her grandmother, tells her that she's doing good and she's comforted by that. And then she gets to Jennifer and she tells Jennifer, you seem like you have a lot of lineage of like holiness, holy people. So Jennifer shares with us that a family member, I don't remember, great great uncle, it's somebody, it was a martyr in the Armenian genocide, and then the Pope ordained him as a saint. So the woman was right on. I don't know how that woman could have found that out about Jennifer. Like, that's fucking random as hell for somebody in her family to be a saint. So I don't know how that woman could have found that out. Anyways, she tells Jennifer also, what's going on. There's a separation. I don't know if your mom is over here and your dad is over here. And she was like, no, my mom and dad are having these issues. And I feel like my mom is not just, being nice to my dad. I'd like her to be more nice to your dad, to my dad. And she was like, does your mom perceive that she was an abused woman? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, well, you need to let your mom know that she's right. She has a right to feel that way and this and that. And it would mean a lot coming from you. And then, Jennifer shares with us, divorce is taboo and men rule in their culture. Told you. Teresa, your father liked Blue Label? Yes. And she was like, they're embracing your relationship. And everybody was like, we knew it, bitch. She was like, can we get a letter? Can we get a letter? They knew it. So the medium busted Teresa out. I thought that was funny. She was like, they're embracing the relationship and you got the green light for that. Then we get to Jackie's house for Rosh Hashanah. They are celebrating. Her mom and dad and brother show up. They do all of their... She was like, even though we're not really a religious family, we still maintain our traditions. Love it. They say we're going to eat the honey with the apples so that our next year can be great. And they're sitting there having matzo ball soup. They're just having, family time. Jackie's children are so cute. Like, every single one of them, especially that one that was sitting next to her and the one that was sitting, that one that looks just like Evan. And I thought it was so cute. Before Jackie was going to the medium, she tells, maybe the medium is going to tell me how long I'm going to love your dad. And she was like, I already know the answer, forever. And then the little boy goes, he's mine. And he gives his dad a kiss. Oh, I thought that was so cute. I was like, look at, he's so cute. And he looks just like Evan. I mean, the same little face. So that was it. That little boy that looks just like Evan, he had a yarmulke on his head that did look like, it looked like he took a mask and cut the strings off. That's what it looked like to me, and put it on his little ass head. But he was so cute. The one sitting right next to daughter is cute. All of them, but they kind of look different, but the same. Evan's handsome. Jennifer, what's her name? Jackie. Jackie's not a bad looking woman anyways. So yeah, I thought it was cute that they showed that. See, it's stuff like that. Like, it's stuff that shows like the full person. I don't think we're getting the full person in Potomac and in Atlanta. And I don't know, because the women want to be perceived as one way, so they're not showing up. I don't know what it is, but they need to do something on Housewives of Atlanta, because this show is so well produced. Like I said, we have a full scope of the woman in her family, and then we get how she is within her friend group. That's what I want to see. I'm not necessarily with the family, but if you're Housewives, we want to see the stuff. They're gonna go on a yacht next episode. Like, we want to see. And it's supposed to be, you're supposed to have wealth. That's another thing that I feel like the women on Real Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac are so relatable. Like, they're so relatable. They're so relatable, and it's just like I don't know. Anyways, Joe and Melissa, they're going out to eat. They're having date night. She says she's gonna take Antonia to Envy to do some school shopping, and she says, I think at that time I'm gonna use that opportunity to have the talk about the birds and the bees. And so Joe is kind of cringy and this and that. She was like, no, I just need to have a conversation with her because I need to tell her that how important her body is. It's so important. I think we really need to remove the shame from sex because it leads to so many misinformed boys and girls like trying to explore their sexuality in their teen years. And if you have no guidance from an adult who has had the experience of the same, growing up and 16, 17, 15, trying to figure the shit out, if they don't have any guidance, there's so many mistakes that can happen, right? Pregnancy, STIs, STDs, so much. Things that cannot be reversed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think it's so important that Melissa has this conversation. She said her mother, she was ashamed of sex. She was sitting on a little boy's lap. Her mother told her, you should be ashamed that you're sitting on his lap. And she said she never talked to her mother about sex again. Never. And it's like, one little thing like that, you can break the trust. And we're going to see next week what's going to happen with her and Antonia. So Joe starts telling Melissa how amazing she looks, and when he first met her, how she had all her shit together, and at 24 she just knew what she wanted. She was like, I was focused on things. She was focused on self-improvement. She wasn't focused on trying to find somebody who can be a mattress and a mule like some of these boys to men are trained, child. She was figuring it out. Here he comes along. She was like, I did everything he asked me to do. He didn't even want me going to bachelorette parties. He was controlling. And because she had the father, she didn't have her father there all the time because he was out in the streets. She interpreted that control as, this man really loves me. Now, I don't doubt that Joe doesn't love Melissa. I just think that he is operating from that male-centered, male-served traditional way, and that's how he was raised. He saw that in his mom and dad, so he don't know any better. But she told him, look, we're going through a new chapter of our lives, and you're going to have to adjust. It's not going to be me at home cooking when you get home from work. And they did a flashback, and it was like the kids were running around, she's making dinner and things like that. She said, I just want to feel like I'm doing something for myself. And he says, do what you need to do. We have our jobs. Live your life. I love your drive, but don't forget about me. And she's like, no, I haven't forgot about you. He's like, and don't let it consume your life. So he's like, he apologized for his behavior, and he says that he's just afraid he doesn't want to lose her. So shout out to Joe and Melissa. Hopefully they get their shit together. So back at Jennifer's house, she says she's making borek. I haven't looked it up. I want to see what that is. Hold on, I'm about to look it up right now. A thin pastry filled with cheese, spinach, and ground meat, baked or fried. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Shout out to borek. All right, that's what Jennifer's mom is coming over to make. Bill comes home. She's so happy. The mom is so happy to see Bill. She's happy because she sees her daughter in a relationship that does not look like her. So she's happy. She's happy for her daughter. So Bill asked, Jennifer's making him, I guess he just came from the office. So Jennifer's making him some eggs. He sits down. He asks her, how was the medium? She was like, she was really great, and she spoke about you, Mom. This is really bad lighting. Really bad. Okay, I'm just going to finish. We're almost done. And she said, she spoke about you, and the mother was interested. She was like, okay, really? She was like, yeah. She said that you were right in how you feel, and that I need to acknowledge that you were emotionally abused. So Pops chimes in, I didn't abuse her. She was like, see, he's just, I'm lying, right? He was like, did you see me abuse her? She was like, abuse is not beating someone. Abuse is emotional. And then Bill chimes in and he says, yes, not acknowledging someone's feelings is also abuse too. And I was like, yes, hello, come through. Bill, that's why she likes you, Bill. And she was like, I was so happy before I was married. Can you think about, she was 16 years old. She said she was happy before she was married, and she stayed in that marriage for 48 years. Can you imagine? I can't do no more than 3 or 4 in some toxic bullshit. That's been my average, 3 in some toxicity. I'm out of here. Ain't no staying because it's tradition. No, I'm about to break tradition and be free. You hear me? He says, you're lying. She was like, see, of course, I'm lying. See, that's okay. It's okay. Jennifer said, she said, she used to tell me that she wanted me to divorce her father. She forgot. She was like, I wish you would have had a divorce so you guys could have been happy. But in the tradition, it's like the woman's happiness is, who cares? Who cares? The dad says, my mistake. Bill excuses the daughter. He tells her this is not for you to see because the granddaughter was sitting there crying. And I imagine that it's hurtful to hear that, but I don't think that you should keep her from seeing that. Other people may have, I just feel like she should see that because she's the next generation, and you don't want to be like your grandmother. You don't want to be stuck in no marriage because of tradition. You don't want to get married at 16 years old, I'm sure of it, and you don't want to be unhappy for 48 years. Bill explains it was tradition. You picked not for love, but for like how it's going to sustain your family name. Jennifer says, I don't think my dad was happy either. See, Jennifer, it's the point. And I don't know. Has he expressed that he wasn't happy? I'm sure he was very comfortable with somebody waiting on him hand and foot. She says, he never got me a cup of tea. How do you feel, darling? Would you like a cup of tea? Never. Okay, that's here. I care about your happiness, and she says, I care about your happiness. Her mother says, I needed to hear that. The dad was looking mad as hell. He looked pissed. When they go outside, Bill says to the dad, maybe if we were in a different culture, you would be divorced by now. And then she's just out there comforting her mom and telling her she's going to do better. But the last time I saw Jennifer in an interview, she said her and her mom are not talking because her mom feels like she's male identified. And that's it. She's going to see the male's point of view first. She's not going to even take her own womanhood into perspective. It's crazy. Anyways, you guys, take care of each other. Sorry about the lighting. I'm about to go back to the house, and we're going to because I got to do TS Madison. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.